Hi, hello and welcome to another episode by Movie. Fernando Muñoz Bernal is my name, and I want to welcome all the old subscribers to my channel, as well as those of you who had just come to my channel. I'm coming at you today from Xinjiang. I am in Urumqi, and today is the last day of my trip to document Xinjiang, because I wanted to see what it was like and what it was about. But I would like to make a video introduction to the series of videos that I'm going to be publishing very soon about this trip. I've made about 4 videos, and this is going to be probably a compilation video about some cultural things that I saw, and a couple of live streams. So if you're interested in those, you can go and check them out in a special playlist that I have created. But I thought that today I would like to explain to you guys why I came here. And before I start talking about that, I would like to remind you guys that this topic is actually quite sensitive, and YouTube doesn't like it very much. Anybody who talks about what they think or the experience that they've had when it comes to Xinjiang, then is automatically deemed anti-genocide, and well, the effect on advertisers and income from AdSense is quite significant. You don't pretty much get pushed at all, and your videos don't get viewed too much. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to support my channel, you can do that by using the link in the description down below and buying me a cup of coffee, or you can use the QR code in the screen right here if you're in China and you use WeChat. But okay, let's start talking about when did I start thinking about coming to Xinjiang. It was one weekend, one Saturday. Me and my partner in my channel, of course China, we decided to go and do a podcast with Daniel Dombrell in Shenzhen, and we were a few YouTubers that have similar, not the same, but similar positions related to China, and we came up with this idea of the Wu Mao show. Once I came up with that idea, I decided I really wanted to come to Xinjiang. Obviously, when I lined up all my ducks in a row, hotels, accommodation, planes, all the things that I wanted to say and visit, I announced it on YouTube, and I then found out that other people were coming to Xinjiang. Now, here's an interesting thing. There's talk of people wanting to come to Xinjiang. Xinjiang is hot right now. Everybody wants to come to Xinjiang. But coming to Xinjiang is not easy. Let me explain. You can come here, you can visit, you can go to touristy spots, but if you're expecting a person like me who just came by himself, I mean, not by myself, I came with my wife, and once I announced the trip, Noel from Caliber Wings, the YouTube channel, he sent me a message and said like, hey, can I come and join you, and I can maybe support you with some behind the scenes photography. I said, sure man, the more the merrier. So it's just the 3 of us. But what I'm saying is that we didn't come here in any kind of organized trip. That's an important thing to say, and that makes things a little bit more difficult, a little bit harder, because I don't have permission to visit some of the places that people are expecting me to visit. I came here with one objective, and let me explain it to you. I wanted to make some videos talking about some of the flaws that I see in a lot of the reports from Adrian Sands and a lot of the attacks that the West has decided to perpetrate on China for a couple of years now. And those are based on 3 things: the accusations of genocide, either real genocide or cultural genocide, the idea of religious oppression, and the other one is forced labor. Of course, I tried. For example, one of the things that I discussed with Jerry Gray was, okay, should I actually go visit some of these ASPI GPS coordinates? I looked up a few of them. Some of them were ridiculous. They were like actually empty lots. One of them, Jerry actually contacted Nathan, who is one of the people who works for ASPI. They actually communicate back and forth, and he suggested that I should visit a certain place. And then it got me thinking, I mean, they've been wrong. They've been proven to be wrong with this imagery that they display. Do I say that all the images are wrong? No, perhaps there are places where there are prisons and maximum security prisons, and they're right about those locations. But many of those locations have also been debunked as being residential areas or schools or just nothing. So I thought to myself, why would I do their homework? Why would I do Adrian Sands any favors in corroborating or just finding out that they were wrong? I came here with very little time, and I wasn't going to do them the homework for them. Now I have to say something else in terms of this. I'm not a journalist, so this was not a trip meant to be a journalistic video. Let me explain why. If you want to get close to any of these areas, there are a lot of blocks, there are a lot of police checkpoints, and they check all your documentation. Now a lot of the things that they say is that they are COVID related, but when you're a foreigner there's added issues, right? I don't blame them for the amount of scrutiny that they give foreigners, because, well, reporters in the past, journalists in the past, foreign reporters have come to the region and they've taken shots and they've taken videos, and then they have twisted whatever they see, whatever they find, or whatever people tell them. So I don't blame them. Everybody's very skeptical, everybody's very wary of what is this person going to say with about what I say, or what is this person going to do with these images that he's capturing. So they basically ruined it for us YouTubers wanting to come here on our own. I know that there are plans for people to come here in an organized trip, and I'll be honest with you, I would love to come in that trip. I haven't been approached, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do this by myself was to show you, because here's the thing, when you do this trip organized by some Chinese media company, then people are going to say, oh, of course, they're just taking it to the places that they want you to see, and the way they want you to see them. And I didn't want that on this trip. If I'm invited to the other one, sure, let's go see. But on this one, I wanted to prove one thing. You cannot get to the places that the BBC got to without a permit. So in some of the reports, they actually talk about, oh, we're being followed. That is not true. When you get to a checkpoint and when you're going to one of those sensitive areas, they basically say if you want to go in, you need to book in advance, get a permit, and once you get a permit, you'll be escorted all the way. That's the rule of this region. That's what's taking place. I imagine that if you wanted to go visit Guantanamo, you wouldn't be left alone to wander. So when they say, oh, they were being followed, they weren't being followed. They had agreed to being escorted. That's the way it is. And the other thing is, they had a permit. They must have had a permit to go and see these places, because I wasn't able to go in because I didn't have a permit. If they were in this area, it's because they had a permit. So I don't know what all the fuss is all about when they say that they were being followed and the authorities didn't know that they were there. That is the most ridiculous thing. There are checkpoints at every single town, so they all know exactly where you are. And when you're a foreigner, this is an interesting thing. At every single checkpoint, when I get out of the car, they will ask me, where are you from? Are you from America? are you from England? And I'm like, no, I'm from Colombia. And they're like, oh, there's kind of like a sigh of relief, or like I've never been happier of being Colombian, because it meant they were okay with me being here. Up until we got to a point where they were not okay with me going to a certain place. We wanted to see one of the cotton farms for this video that I wanted to make about forced labor. This is not the season to go see cotton picking, okay? This is the season where they are just planting seeds, but I wanted to see the fields anyway and make a video about forced labor from the ground. When we got to an area where we could see them, the police checkpoint said like, no, you can't go in. And the reason was that we were given was because we needed to have a COVID test, and that would take a long time. So we decided to abandon the plan and turn around. We went to other places and shot other things and did other things. So I wasn't intent on debunking the lies. The lies can be easily debunked just by talking and using logic. So let me explain. I could have made these, well, some of the videos that I've made here, I could have made them in my studio, but I wanted to come here. I wanted to make the videos here. I wanted to show you Xinjiang. I wanted to show just how beautiful this place is, how no oppression, how no... Let me explain. If there is genocide taking place somewhere, I guess you can feel it. You can feel the fear in people's faces. You can feel the oppression. I've never been in a situation like that, but that's just what I think. People here are normal. They're just going about their lives. They're fine. The only thing that they don't like is foreigners with cameras. That's true. So in that sense, coming in an organized group might be an advantage, because every time I whipped out a camera, people start looking at you funny, like, and I don't blame them. Again, I repeat, I don't blame them. They might be thinking, what does this guy want? What is he going to say about us? What is he going to say about our region? What is he going to say about our place? We've been hurt enough from these Western media. So what's this guy doing with a camera? So yeah, there are some places like where I am right now in Urumqi where things are a lot more lax, so to speak. Not easy. I'm in a park right now, so I can pretend to just be taking pictures of things, but if I want to take a video in the middle of the road, well, people start asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's totally reasonable, and I understand it. That's what I am trying to say. The other reason why I came here by myself was because if I come with a group, and I've been invited to join another tour with another media company. I'm not going to talk about that until I finalize the details, and well, the actual invitation has been made, but it's not the formal invitation, so I'm going to talk about that later. But when you do those, you kind of like you're associated with that company, with that media company, which can be state-owned or state-sponsored or whatever. And yeah, I understand how people can see that as affecting whatever message that you're giving. I don't think that is wrong. I don't think that there's a problem with that, but it is a fact. I think that it does happen. Now, that's why I wanted to come here by myself. And that's why I decided to have a sworn statement in my videos, basically mentioning that I came here by myself, that nobody paid me anything, that nobody has given me any money or any message or anything that I need to say, must show. I wanted to show you the real issues of just blogging and being a YouTuber here in Xinjiang, a foreign YouTuber, which is a little bit different as well. So I wanted to be able to report on those issues. So my videos will talk about that, and you'll see some of those situations. This affidavit also was Very simple. No, it was not really an affidavit, sorry, it was just a sworn statement where I said, oh, I'm gonna swear that I haven't been paid by anybody to come here. But then as I mentioned something like this, somebody put a comment like, oh, but maybe you have been coerced, maybe you have been forced, maybe you're afraid, or the government has something on you, and that's why you're doing what they say. You're going because they say that you have to go. So let me make another sworn statement under penalty of perjury if I'm lying. Nobody has coerced me to come here. Nobody coerced me to come here, make this video, say what I'm saying. Absolutely nobody. As I said at the beginning, this is just me. I decided to come and see for myself, and I wanted you to see what it would be like to do something like this today in China, April 2021 in Xinjiang. And it's been great. It's just been great stories, great memories, and some frustration. I'm not gonna lie to you, the constant checkpoints are very annoying. If you live here, it's not that complicated because, well, you have your ID, but being a foreigner, everything's a lot more complicated. And then they open your bag, and then they see your cameras, and there's more questions, and there's more things that they want to know. To be honest, I think that the whole COVID situation is taken very seriously here, extremely seriously. Now, does it give them cover, you know, to say, oh, because of COVID there's a regulation here and you can't come here? Maybe that very well could be, because it seems that there is no one COVID regulation. There are different COVID regulations in different towns. So that's what happened when we went to see the cotton fields. They said, like, okay, the regulation here in Hetian or Hotan, the regulation is this, but hey, how are you? Some kids playing here.
I'm fine.
You're fine. But when we got to this place, they said, like, no, the regulation here is totally different, even though it's just like, I don't know, 30 foot, like 40 kilometers from where we were staying in our hotel. So yeah, I mean, is there a chance that they're using COVID as an excuse to stop solo travelers, solo YouTubers like myself, to go into places where they don't want us to go? And again, which country doesn't have places that they don't want people to go? People sniffing around with cameras. Think of Guantanamo, think about Fort Knox. These days, think about Fort Detrick. I'm sure the government of the United States doesn't want anybody snooping around Area 51. So yeah, I mean, I understand that. That's normal. Now, is it because they're hiding something, or is it because, well, journalists have twisted what they've seen in these places? Could be either one. It could be, I don't know, you don't know. Whichever explanation suits you better, that's the one you take. I could understand both. Both could be true. So there you go, guys. This is the video that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to let you know basically how this trip came to be and what I intended to do. I intended to record my videos about debunking some of these claims, not as a journalist, but as a thinker, as a person who has a brain and can read and can see and can think. And I thought it was important to come here and do it from here, from the ground, as a solo YouTuber. So that's it, guys. Okay, I've ranted long enough, and I think I've run out of things that I wanted to say. So remember, if you want to see that series, you better subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and if you do that, then don't forget to hit the bell button to be notified whenever there is a new video out. And as I mentioned at the beginning, these videos don't make too much money. You can see it right here how much money I've made last month, about $100. So that's not much, right? Because whenever you start talking about China's side of things, well, your videos don't get pushed. Your videos get down-throttled. It's that simple. I mean, I'm struggling to get to a few thousand views per video when I was getting 15,000, 20,000 just a few months ago, before I started with this whole Wu show and being a little bit more political than anything. So yes, if you want to support the work that I do, make sure to hit that link in the description down below to buy me a cup of coffee. Oh, this is a funny story that took place here. A cup of coffee here is 48 yuan, and it tastes like piss. Well, we actually had it at the airport. I shouldn't say here, because here in Urumqi you have Starbucks, you have Pacific Coffee, you have decent coffee, right? Also expensive. But this is a funny story, because we were at the airport in Kashgar, and it was very early in the morning, and we bought a cup of coffee for 48 RMB. I mean, if they had given me instant coffee, it would have been better. This thing was horrible. So throughout the whole trip, we started to measure any expenditure in terms of Kashgar coffee. So now you know how much a Kashgar coffee is. 48 yuan. Alright guys, I'm not gonna go on. Go watch the videos. The video series is a great series, yeah, if you want to know more and you want to ask me anything more, feel free to leave comments in the comment section down below. And if you want to share these videos and these stories and what we found out and what we experienced, then share these videos. I'll be happy to see more people coming and seeing my message from a solo YouTuber here in Xinjiang in 2021, talking about genocide, forced labor, and religion oppression. So none of that. Alright guys.